Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a squat and deadlift day, but a quick reminder for those of you who are watching, please click like down below. If you aren't subscribed or following me yet, please do so, and if you would be so kind as to drop me a comment to say hello or give your thoughts, I would appreciate it. All right, today I decided to work high bar squats again. Because what am I doing? I'm trying to focus on getting bigger again. Like I want to focus on pure lean gains, just improved body composition, but I've got to get thicker everywhere. So I'm trying to maximize recovery, stimulus fatigue, scaled back my training a little because I have been overtraining and I need to just focus on progressive overload. And I need to make sure every single muscle in my body gets at least 6 direct sets every week. Obviously there's a ton of spillover. Because there's a lot of compounds, but I'm only counting them towards one muscle in that. So again, the squats and deadlifts, I'm not even fully counting, but I'm like, let's work high bar squats. That was hard, by the way. I'm like, let's get in, let's do 405 and try to sink it all the way to hamstrings to heels for me. So for those curious, like I'm literally bottoming out in those sleeves. That's as deep as I can go. Like my calves and hamstrings are kind of big. So for me, that's pretty much just sinking it. But 5 reps was pretty hard. Like I did 7 with a power squat the other day. But once I threw those squat shoes on, I'm forcing myself to get more knee slide, all that stuff, use the quads more. It was hard, but it's like I want to build the quads up, so it's good. The other thing, I know that my deadlifting, I'm feeling things like just my forearms and stuff are really fatigued. Low back has been a little fatigued, so I need to scale what I'm doing a little better. So the same thing, I'm going to quit trying to do even 12 sets for my lats. Look, we can just do pull-ups. I'm going to leave the rows alone, and I feel like that will be better on the forearm recovery. So those are harder though, by the way. Some people are like, man, you were doing more than that not long ago. That was with the deadlift bar. So I'm like, let's just do the stiff bar for a bit. And I want to just build up with 500. I want to get that stiff bar to where I can do 500 for 10. All right, I feel like that's a worthy goal. I've done 10, with a power bar. With a deadlift bar with thicker plates. So people are like, oh man, that was really good. You got 11 reps. But dude, guys, I was using those training plates. They're wider. It was on a deadlift bar. It's way easier. Way easier. All right, that power bar has 0 whip. I'm using steel plates, 0 flex, 0 whip. I'm going to build that up. All right, I want to build that back up, but I also feel like my forearms have to recover. They have to recover. So I need to have a reasonable amount of grip work, but I've also got to avoid beating them up. And I feel like stuff like the rows and things are doing it to some extent. I've got to focus on recovery everywhere, right? I need to focus on recovery everywhere. And I do feel like doing all the rows with the pull-ups and then those power curls and stuff kind of push certain parts of my arm recovery a little far. But yeah, I want to get that stiff bar up to 10. I feel like if I get all the recovery on point, just enough grip work to keep getting stronger there will be good. Belt squats, we obviously did 290 there. I got 7, 7, and 8. Really happy with that. So slowly progressing on those while focused on getting deeper. Glute ham raises, I managed to get 10, 10, 8. I'll just call it 3 by 10 with a 10-pound plate. Yes, I did this angle. I don't care. Yes, I'm going to catch flack for my loose skin showing today. I just don't care. You know what? It's free engagements. It just doesn't matter anymore because we've seen it tighten up when I drop water. It's fine. So let's get over to the training. So direct hamstring. So what are we doing here? If we don't count the squats or deadlifts, we get 3 direct sets with some progressive overload there for the quads and adductors with the belt squats. And then the glute ham raises are exercise that works all the heads of the hamstring. So it's overall a great exercise. And neither of them put any stress or fatigue on the back. So that's the main thing. It gives me wiggle room on that to do stuff like calf raises and things. Because that is something that does accumulate also. If I'm doing, a bunch of standing rows, if I'm doing heavy good mornings with the squats, deadlifts. So again, looking at where we can get away with the axial fatigue or not, right? And just get in and get it all done. Focus on recovery. Absolutely need to just focus on the recovery. But here, again, doing these in the way to where I feel the most hamstring, I never really care about this. People don't always like the way I perform these, and that's okay. It doesn't matter. I have big hamstrings. I have strong hamstrings, and I feel it light my hamstrings up, right? They get worked really hard, and that's what matters. So at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. So what I did today, I made this really just an entirely lower body day, unless we count, the deadlift and squat towards upper body, the hanging on the hanging leg raise. Because again, I feel like my upper body is getting enough work. My volumes are really, really good overall on the 2 upper body days. I feel they're at a good spot where I can recover from. I don't really need to be throwing rows and stuff in here. All right, my back will grow from pull-ups, and technically even those extensions I do are a pullover. So again, I actually do feel back and chest and stuff there. So again, just progress really, really hard on the weighted pull-ups. If I do that every week, my back will keep growing. Plus I have deadlifts in here twice a week, a top set. It's all going to grow. All right, so calves, I wanted to start doing calves again, mainly because just bigger calves burn more calories, burn more energy, speed up your metabolic rate. And rather than do them on the other thing, I'm like, let's just throw the work boots on so it's easier on my feet, and let's stand on a plate and make them nice and challenging. So 315 was challenging here. Obviously, I want to progress on that. The 3 sets of 10 was pretty hard going up onto the plate. So again, I'm happy with that. And of course, here's how the legs are looking. That's where my quads and everything are. Right, so once I flex them, the legs look decently lean. So again, quad development, leg development on point. And I know I don't seem to get a lot from ever doing calf training. My calves are always going to be big and ripped no matter what I do. But comes a point where I go, would some extra calf work, as long as I'm recovering from it, beneficial? Yeah. Will it help my squats and stuff? Yeah. Especially when I'm messing around with the high bar stuff, because bigger calves, bigger hamstrings just give you more pop out of the bottom. Probably raise my max later. So again, just doing them plus the metabolic rate, the energy turnover. If I want to gain as much muscle as possible, let's gain muscle everywhere. Why not gain a little bit of calf muscle if we are capable of doing so? Right? Potentially beneficial. So again, might as well just train it. And that way all the muscles get worked. And then I feel like at this point, my forearms are getting so much from all the pulling, the hanging, everything. I need to be careful with not overtraining my grip and forearms at this point. So again, happy with the leg development at least. I feel like my legs have gotten bigger again now that I've started really pushing squats again, doing the belt squats deep. And then we finish up with reverse hypers. This first set, I forgot to not swing a little bit, so I ended up getting 12 reps and stopping. What I'm trying to do with these, I've gone up a little heavier, and I'm trying to pull it from a dead stop at the start and then try to control the negative. And the reason for that, you can't fully control it. You're never going to come to a dead stop. I've had people say, why don't you just come to a dead stop each rep? It will take you 30 seconds between reps, because notice the thing keeps swinging. So because it's on roller bearings, you can't. So even if you tried to stop for 3 or 4 seconds at the bottom of every rep, it won't stop moving. And that's one of the benefits. That forward swing is what gives you the benefits of this device. But I'm like, if I want to really strengthen the low back and not just prehab it, I do need it to be heavier. I do need a little more loading and get the reps down to a more appreciable range, 10, 12, stuff like that. And I've noticed that I do feel more actual contraction, not just that pump and that restorative effect we get from the really high reps where we swing it. I do feel it is more direct work there. And so then I'm counting this as direct work for my low back. So when I talk about all the sets, right, that's what we mean. This gives me 3 direct sets for low back. The glute ham raise is 3 direct sets for hamstrings, so on and so forth. And that's the general idea. And then, of course, we finish up with 1 set of hanging leg raises. I just did 10 reps and called it a week. So I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys and gals next time.